A sudden idea comes to this boy's mind. He puts the fan blade in the soil and removes the radio battery. Despite he keeps listening to radio in a clean voice. Her father is surprised when he looks at the boy, explains them that this wind power, as long as the wires are connected to the fan blade, rotates and makes electricity. So that radio he walks that if it's big model, if made, it removes water from the well. A pump can be run for the fields, will be irrigated and dried. The problem will be solved, but for this father's only bicycle had to break. Father finds this idea impractical, and they scold the son in anger. Do you say from this windmill father who will ever end the drought did not go to school and get more angry. They go and slam their son on the ground, gives him a lot of. Father William is broken after leaving, looks at the invention and starts crying. But the next day he's still his father's. He obeys things. He wakes up early in the morning, works in the fields and rests by noon. Although he does not leave studies in spare time, he is fine of the villagers. He does the principle of machines, tries to understand, and a little bit, it also earns money in family income. Father helps all this silently, keep watching, but nothing says one days go out with their radio. So that we can get the life of the weather that day. The weather looks good and the crop is good. It is expected to happen, but soon due to wrong decisions and greed of villagers. The biggest famine of 20 years is that day. When William returns home after finishing work, she placed school uniform on her bed. Seeing this, he is surprised to see actually his father's anger was said words were just in charge. Father knows that his son loves studies very much, so they sent him to school, even if the family has arranged tuition. Very poor or heavy on the first day of school. It rains, which is considered an auspicious sign. Science teacher goes to class. Starts studies, but school is over. When they stop William, and it is said that the remaining amount of tuition is soon. William will have to be filled soon after hearing that it falls because his father only. The first installment was paid, although he is a little disappointed, yet when his friend Waka comes to pick her up, when he smiles. It gets dark on reaching home. Sitting near William window, tries to write questions, but only then her mother comes and says that kerosene at home is over and the lamp can't walk. Due to darkness, his incomplete homework has to leave, and father's help one who has to go to work in the fields they have been in. The next day exam. William scores only 62 points, from which he passes. Gets, but he is not satisfied with himself, find a way to study at night for her friends after school. With the garbage pile here, most things were thrown by tobacco company. She has gone. Even after searching a lot, there is no work except one water pump and a useless battery. He would be disappointed, is nothing to study at night. Got his meeting on his way back home. The head of the villagers with the villagers told in the meeting. That's tobacco company jungle wood too little. The villagers are going to buy it. The price will not benefit the chief and William. Father does not agree with this deal, but this proposal due to rural poverty. Sign tobacco after this. People of the company start cutting trees, and seeing this, William gets very angry. But he could not do anything calm to do that part of William village. Go where the Crook boys basketball game. They are on. Seeing basketball, an idea comes to mind that he runs home. Has some old Baisha and equipment, picks up, and then the Crook returns to the boys. He eventually successful in turning on the radio. It happens that makes all people conscious. William from now on bad boys of the village. One day when he becomes a ideal going home. He sees that his sister secretly with science teacher dating is in their small village. This is of embarrassment for the whole family because in the village things spread very quickly and people think bad about this. By getting upset will teach the teacher a lesson so that he was his sister. Stay away from the next day after school and his friend near the teacher's bicycle reach and to puncture his tire. Planning but many times to think after William stops himself from doing this because a kind person inside him is like this. His friend who refuses to do suggestions to him more mischievous than that. Give if he does not puncture tire, just remove the headlight of the bicycle. So that the teacher cannot study at night, and it should be difficult for William that this idea is right looks like, and he thinks this method without can bother a teacher of a loss. When William tries to remove the headlight, if he does, he sees that this headlight one silver is attached to the machine. He sees a bicycle pedal, seeing that the headlight starts burning on its own. He gets amazed and one in his eyes new glow comes to William at that moment. It happens that this light is not only of the headlight. Rather it is also in the direction of his life, which he night inspires the night to do something big. I have to have tuition fees from his father. I talk to her father is shorter. Let's give that as soon as he grains from the farm. They will collect, they will have money, but unfortunately rain within a few days it starts, and all his father's grain flows into water, William's father. Let's try their best to save the situation, but their hard work was useless in front of nature. Due to this, William's studies stop goes because they have tuition fees. There is no money to fill for William. This is a big shock because he is very interested in studies after some time. The rain stops but the fields with strong sunlight. The land starts drying up and the crop that was left it is also dried up and the famine gets spoiled now. The chances of the village increase and the people of the village. William's father gets worried. Village meet the head of the head and help him. Hopefully they tell the chief that when the nation president's village for vote if they come, they will have the real problem of the village keep in front so that the president can help. On the other hand, William is thinking something new. He would find a way to deal with famine. William feels if he is old, if you add the battering poles, then it is one can create a new battery so that water drainage could run water pump for and fields could irrigate, but the biggest in front of him. The challenge is to charge the battery because he knows more about it. William does not happen to solve this problem, goes to school, and his science teacher asks that the bicycle headlight paddle how the teacher burns when rotating is that bicycle contains a DC generator which generates electricity, but library William due to lack of card cannot get admission in the library, so he threatens his teacher if he did not take him to the library, tell me about the dating of her and her sister. Teacher will give him a library and compulsion. William go there, a book energy use, finds the name, and from that he learns a lot about electricity, looks to know how energy is right can be used from that day, since William has either learning something from the book is it or the things of work in the junk. He gathers always new ways, searches how his village and family could help the president. After a few days, the village comes to the village for campaigning. People hope that now their problems, there will be a solution. When the head comes on the stage, first praise the president and then the village. It tells the problem of drought lying, but as he finishes his talk, president's bodyguards catch him. William gets sad to see this and goes behind the head with friends. There he sees that the bodyguard chief president is beating want to do and run and your car goes while leaving the head dying. William is given after this incident. Father understands that now someone help him will not help themselves. They also have to understand that now the situation is so bad that this year's crop, the corn left from the family next year, not enough to keep alive. His father roof iron sheet and compulsion take out and go to the city to sell, but they find out by reaching the city that food prices have increased a lot and the money they have enough. It does not happen. During this time, news comes on the radio that the government refuses to accept this disaster. William's father is angry to hear this, come into a truck to protest. They climb their wife and children. They ask that they are good news, wait to solve the problem of famine. William's secretly school library goes to the female teacher. The idea states that if his near is the DC generator of science teacher so he can grow crop even in drought, so that women teacher on hearing no hungry dead does this idea good, and she tells her to find a science teacher. But when William reaches the classroom, he does not see the science teacher. He knows the science teacher goes on his sister's is dating and plans to escape is making the place of science teacher. William comes in the principal class, he bows his head, but still the principal sees him because William has no money to pay tuition fees. The principal would take him out of the classroom. The female teacher sees this scene and knows that William is very fond of studies and he is very smart. He pleads to come to school for free to be given, but this is not possible. Home land immersed in thinking while returning, suddenly the people of the village sees runs with bucket. The government has two in the village under pressure from public opinion. William's mother sent food after filling the truck, removes all the savings and sends it to the market so that he can buy as much as he can. She goes to the city with her father's bicycle. William's father also came back with a truck. But on the way he sees that the villagers fight for a little food. Seeing this, he misses his house and he asks the driver to walk early, but by then it is too late. The people of the village enter their house and eat all the food. William's mother has been robbed. By seeing this, gets very sad and starts crying. On the other hand, William reaches the city and warehouse, entering into the doors of the warehouse, but he has all the money for his savings, collects and buys a bag of food. Employees say that a person only 30 kilograms can be purchased. Now the big problem is how he is out because hungry people stand out. If he goes out, people snatched food take it, but staying inside is not right because the door is going to open anytime. William revolves around work and mistake he gets away, from which he and the rest of the people run away home till the night. Does not return home and decide his father is that only once a day from now will be done so that the food can last for a few days. Also there rain from God every day. William pray to this situation, makes a way to find a way out. At night he talks to his sister and DC generator of science teacher borrowed from him. He tries to take from his sister, says that if he has a generator, William can solve water problem after leaving his sister thinking all night after a big decision the next day when if William returns home, he is one to his mother finds crying with a letter. In a letter it is written that his sister and science teacher has run away with a mouth lower at home. William goes to his sister's room if you see, then the DC of the science teacher there. The generator is kept on seeing William to see him both happiness and sorrow experience after. William's parents take him to school go and complain to the principal. That science teacher drives away their daughter. The principal has regretted this it happens and he promises that science will try to find the teacher as well. She will get books free from the library to William. This is how William allows to study does not lose hope despite its struggle and he looks for a new beginning. He knows that with his hard work and knowledge. This story can help your family. William is now open in the library comes a female teacher resigns, but he leaves a repaired battery goes to see if the book. William can work in the method mentioned in. The bad goes to the boys' base and from them if they ask for help in making windmill if they are successful then they to pump water Pawin can use energy so that dry problem of land may solve something. People think that it is a waste of time and sleeping lying down is better but most people will rely on William, that's why start working together. Some of the blade makes some copper wires clean and connect William stars. After a short time a small windmill is formed then William connects it to radio, as soon as the door opens, the wind. The next moment it turns the mill turn the radio without a battery and everyone gets excited by this scene. Now all the garbage starts searching for such things with which a large windmill can be made, however. They get a lot every time, but a large gear is required therefore William about his father's bicycle. Thinks when he thought to his father tells and his labor practicable invention if he shows, his father scolds him now. William has help from bad boys near William there is no choice but to them takes his house while he takes his father plans to take a bicycle but next the same moment his father rotates a hoe and this step decides to fight scare boys and they run away. Despite this, William to build a windmill. They don't leave work for bicycle and something else search but not successful yet as time passes, the population of the village less. Some people run away from elsewhere but most die of hunger. Even Waka broke of William goes and he would lay down on the crying ground after knowing all this, her mother is her husband. Every time it tells her long complaints I go somewhere after you I lose when I came here I lost parents then land and then I lost my daughter. She has lost her family in the end decides to break the bicycle at night, he learned knowledge from the book Pawin Mill started using. The next morning her father is the villagers to help cut trees call and then all together long frames, raise it with nails, after William slowly to the water pipe puts into the well, and then the eyes of the entire village. Pawin Mill was installed on the frame in front of Pawin Mill wind. The wheel starts walking with the house they generate electricity through generators, it is completely successful when everyone. People are digging the gap to irrigate the seeds if you are, the battery is fully charged everyone goes excited at this time and the father hugs his son tightly. Now there is a water source dry there does not live and the villagers to rotate and start digging bones as time passes, seeds grow on the ground and now there is no worry about famine that day. William from the whole village becomes the hero of and his parents are proud of him. And the end of the movie. Thank you so much for watching.